Today, we're playing with some RC boats. And we've got the 24-inch Traxxas Blast, the 18-inch Pro Boat Recoil 2, and the 26-inch Traxxas Disruptor. Now these three boats have a lot of similarities in their construction. They're all deep V, they all come ready to run, although some require some items, and they're all going to be really great RC boats. The big differences are going to come with their price, their size, and how fast they go. Now before we test that, let's open them up here in the lab, check them out, and see what some of the big differences are. Here they all are lined up with the Blast, the Recoil 2, and the Disruptor. And you can see that there are some pretty big size differences between these. Now, like I said before, the Traxxas Blast is 24 inches, the Recoil 2 is 18, and then Traxxas says the Disruptor has a 26-inch hull, but the overall length is around 29 inches. Now this Traxxas Blast is going to be the least expensive boat here at about $150, and it does include a 6L nickel metal hydride battery. You also get a Traxxas TQ transmitter, a USB charger, a DC cigarette style charger as well, and then a few basic tools and our documentation. The one thing this boat doesn't include are going to be 4 AA batteries for the transmitter. Now this is a brushed boat, and as far as I can tell, you cannot use a 2-cell LiPo in this, only the NIMPAC. Now it is an ABS plastic construction. The decals look really nice on here, and I believe there's a few different options, and in the back we have some plastic parts, although it does look like we have a metal shaft. Our boat though, unfortunately, the little holder for the antenna on the top hatch was broken off, so we used some super glue. I'm not sure that's going to hold or really stay sealed, so we may have to better seal that up later. Now something interesting with this hatch is it's just held on with a rubber band under here, and you can completely move the little hook that the rubber band is attached to by taking off this one screw on the top, but lifting it up exposes that our battery is already installed in the front. There's no seal going around the hatch, but everything inside, all the electronics, are going to be waterproof except for our receiver, but that receiver is inside a waterproof receiver box. We do have a 20-turn brushed motor that is water cooled, and then our ESC in the back along with our servo. Now for the Pro Boat Recoil 2, this guy's about $230 and has brushless electronics. That is powered off a 3-cell LiPo. Comes ready to run with this SLT3 transmitter. It also includes that LiPo battery. It's a 1300 milliamp hour 3-cell, and then you get a USB style charger to go along with it. There's also AA batteries for the transmitter, and some instructions are included as well. Now to keep that price point down while having brushless electronics and a LiPo included, it's going to be a little bit smaller boat, but we should expect great power and top speed out of this. Now the styling on this looks great. I believe there's 2 different options to choose from. And then along the back here, we have a lot more metal or stainless steel parts used, which should be more durable along with our plastic propeller. Now to get inside the hatch, we actually have a little lever here that you turn, and then you can lift up the latch and it completely comes off. There's a little bit of foam in the top of the hatch, and then we do have a foam or rubber seal going around to seal up inside. And you can see inside it's really nice and tidy. And then we have water cooling for the Outrunner style motor, and then the ESC that's tucked away right here. Of course, here's our receiver, our steering servo, and then like on the Blast, our battery goes mounted up here in the front. Now for the big dude, the Traxxas Disruptor. It's going to be our longest and biggest boat here, and it's also going to use brushless electronics and is powered by a 4-cell LiPo battery. You don't have to use a 4-cell though. You can use a 3 or 2-cell if you want to keep speeds down. But overall, it is a great looking boat. The colors and decals look fantastic, and there's a few different color options to choose from. And in the back, we have a mixture of stainless steel, anodized aluminum, and then some plastic parts used as well. Plastic propeller, and it does look fairly robust. I should also add that this is the heaviest boat of the bunch. Now this boat's $350, so it is the most expensive, and it does not include a battery pack. So if you want a 4-cell, that's probably going to cost you another $100. But it does include a TQ transmitter. You get some extra tools, you get documentation, but you will have to add your own AA batteries. Now to get into the hatch, we actually need to unscrew these 4 fasteners, and included is this special tool. So best not lose it. And with that, our hatch should come right off. Yes, there we go. So this hatch also is going to have a rubber seal going around the lid, and then inside it looks very nice and clean with our receiver again in a waterproof box, our brushless motor that's got water cooling, and then the ESC is also water cooled as well with our servo back here. And then for the battery, it is a big old battery box up front with Velcro straps, so it should accommodate a lot of different sized 4-cell batteries, or 3-cell, or 2-cell. Now, something that may be really important is a self-righting feature, and Traxxas doesn't specify whether or not the Blast has self-righting, so I imagine it does not, but if it flips over on the water, you can always try giving it full gas and full brake and getting it to rock back over. ProBoat does say the Recoil 2 has self-righting, and to activate it, you hit up on this rocker button until it starts flipping itself back over. And then on the Disruptor, Traxxas says that you just give it full gas when you're flipped over, and it will self-right itself when you're using a 3 or 4 cell lipo. If you're only using a 2-cell lipo, you're gonna have to try to manually rock it by giving it gas and then brake, and it should right itself. Now, last but not least, the top speeds. For the Traxxas Blast, it's not really specified. ProBoat does say that the Recoil 2 should do 25 miles an hour, maybe even a little more, and then the Disruptor is claimed to hit 40 miles an hour, which is gonna be cooking out there on the water. So first up is the Traxxas Blast, and we're using the included 6-cell NIM battery in that brushed motor system. And sadly, we had a mic issue, so we've got no audio for these first few clips. But on the water, it's immediately obvious that the Blast is super easy to pilot. It's really stable, it turns smooth equally to both sides, and overall, it performs quite amazing. It's not fast, it doesn't accelerate super fast, it doesn't hit hard, but that just makes it a lot easier to stay safe and not get yourself in trouble. We never even flipped it over or had to try to self-right it. I imagine this would be a great beginner boat, or if you've got smaller bodies of water, or maybe even just a large pool, the Blast would be great. After driving, we opened up the hatch to check the water, and there was a little moisture inside. It was pretty minimal, but some did get in there. I'm not sure if it was through that broken antenna hole or if it was coming from underneath the hatch. If you were to roll the Blast, I imagine it would take on a lot of water. Now next up is the Recoil 2, and despite being the smallest boat of the bunch, this paint job really keeps it easy to see. The biggest surprise though is the power, because holy smokes, this boat takes off like a bullet. It accelerates super hard and reaches very fast top speeds. It may be small, but this boat needs a lot of space to really open it up. Just like the Blast though, the Recoil 2 turns great, it feels balanced, and it feels even more nimble. It's maybe a little less stable, and it does get upset in some of the chop, or if you try to turn it too tight going full speed, and we did roll it over, but the self-righting worked like a champ. Now at the end, we open up the hatch on the Recoil 2, and at the very bottom of the boat, there is a little bit of water that pooled up. It's not a whole lot, and it's really hard to see on camera, but we turned the boat over and let it drip out. It seems pretty minimal though, considering the boat rolled over on its lid a few times. This is the 4S Traxxas Disruptor. I'm giving it maybe 10% throttle right now. Just feeling it out. Ooh, that was a tight turn. It's really pulling to the right. I'm gonna center it a bit. Let's go full throttle. Woo, baby. Holy smokeronis. That was full throttle. So the Traxxas Blast for $150 is really easy to drive. It's not as fast, but it's super smooth. It turns great, and its bigger size makes it a little bit more stable in the chop. It's probably the right speed for a pool, but it does feel a little slow out here, at least compared to these two faster boats. The Recoil 2 for $230 is awesome. It's super agile. It has a really nice hatch that's convenient to pop off with one little thumb screw. And then it is extremely fast, especially when you get on it. It just accelerates so hard. It's immediate, and probably due to its small and lightweight nature, just really rips. And then the Traxxas Disruptor on 4S, it's like $315 right now on sale. You still need to add about a $100 battery to it. It is big. It is the fastest of the bunch. It is more stable in the chop. And then out in the bigger bodies of water, it's a lot easier to see. If I had to pick one, it would probably be the Recoil 2 just for the price. It includes everything, even the battery. It's extremely fast. It's super fun, but I think you can't go wrong for any of these boats. They're just for different people and different needs. So go check out all these boats with our links down below, or if you want more RC videos, check these out. One last thing, if you guys want to see us get some big 6S powered boats, leave us a comment down below. Which ones would you like to see?